Why do diehard cyclists hate e-bikes? Stick around. Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have nearly 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry. And today we're gonna answer the question, why do diehard cyclists hate e-bikes? Now, before we get into it, hit that subscribe button below. Stay in touch with us here at 630. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways we're doing, and of course, new product releases. All right, so got some e-bikes here that 630 offers. They're linked in the description below if you wanna check those out. But let's get into the question of why do diehard cyclists hate e-bikes? Now, I'm generalizing, not all diehard cyclists hate e-bikes, but what I notice on our YouTube channel in particular is there's a lot of negative comments that come out of people saying, just get a regular bike, or why do you have a motor, or you're cheating, or you can't lose weight. And it's, you know, these riders that say, I've been riding a bike 20 years, I don't need a motor. And I think there's this animosity that somehow exists between cyclists and e-bike riders, the diehard cyclists and e-bike riders. I also know that people ride their e-bikes around town and they get yelled at from other people or cyclists that that's not a bike, things like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think e-bikes are being misused by a lot of riders, and there's a lot of e-bike riders out there being disrespectful. On the flip side, I think electric bikes have done incredible things for the cycling community and also just society as a whole. It's gotten way more people off the couch and outdoors. It's provided a whole new avenue of exercise for people with disabilities and mobility issues. And so the diehard cyclists that have been riding road bikes or mountain bikes without motors for years and years and years love their bikes and think e-bikes are just terrible. And I think to some extent it's because there's this stigma that people ride e-bikes are lazy, or they're ruining maybe trails by taking the motors out there. And I do think one of the issues is the lack of respect right now that some e-bike riders have. And I think it's true of cyclists too. Some cyclists don't appropriately share the road, which makes cars angry. And some cyclists actually are going faster on their road bike than most e-bikes are going, to be honest with you. Because a cyclist can, a lot of cyclists can average 17, 18, 19 miles an hour on their rides, which is gonna be faster than a lot of e-bike riders go on their e-bikes. So I think in the sense for diehard cyclists, they feel like e-bikes are ruining their culture or ruining the name that cycling has, and in their mind, it's not really cycling at all. And I do think, and again, this is just my opinion, and what I'd like to say is if you're a diehard cyclist and you don't like e-bikes, or you're an e-biker, comment below. I'd love to start a conversation. I want to hear everybody's feedback and thoughts on this topic as well. But I think it's important for everybody, the e-bike riders, the cyclists, to just understand that it's not necessarily the same thing. Now, the point is the same, to get out on a bike, enjoy the outdoors, but riding an e-bike has particular benefits for particular riders. Riding a standard bike, being a cyclist, has benefits for a particular riders. Doesn't mean you can only do one and not the other. In fact, I would say there's a lot of cyclists that probably have e-bikes as well, and they can have different use cases and different purposes, and each type of bike can be good for a different type of rider in a different circumstance. Somebody with a mobility issue may only be able to ride an electric bike. Somebody who's got a perfectly able-bodied and is completely fit just thinks, you know what, I don't need an e-bike because I can get anywhere I want to go on my bike without the electric assistance. And I think that's perfectly fine. I think it's just, everybody has to admit now that e-bikes have their own use case, cycling has their own use case, and it doesn't mean that because e-bikes come, cycling is dead or it's ruining cycling culture. The reality is e-bikes are here to stay, and now we're gonna find ways as a society to accommodate them more. Now, the one thing that's coming down the pipeline at some point is there is gonna be more regulation, because there is a lot of riders abusing the privilege of having that electric assist on their bike, which creates problems on trails, in parks, in pathways, which unfortunately a lot of local jurisdictions have prevented e-bikes, whether it be on single track mountain bike trails, or regular trails, oceanfront trails here in California. Sidewalks now are putting up local signs saying no e-bikes allowed. So the other thing too is when there's, I see a lot of, like I said, disabled riders or heavier riders that really benefit from the experience of an electric bike because it gets them back into two wheels. So as a whole, electric bikes have done nothing but good for getting our society more active. Now, I think for everyone to coexist, like I said, we need probably some better boundaries and rules for the e-bike space. But I don't think there's any reason for the diehard cyclists to hate electric bikes. So if you've got feelings around why you don't like e-bikes or why you think it's bad, please comment below. I'd love to hear it. And if you have any other questions, comment those below as well. And if you're in the market for an e-bike, don't forget all 4 of these are linked in our description. You can also check out our full selection in the link below. We offer a 30-day test ride your e-bike policy. If you don't love it in 30 days, send it back, no questions asked, no money out of your pocket. We also warranty everything for 1 year. Anything goes wrong in the first year, we take care of it, parts and labor. Lastly, 2 great ways to connect with our community. We have a Facebook group and an app. The 630 Pedalers group on Facebook has thousands of members in there. Join the group to talk to existing members before you purchase so you can make the right decision. Then when you have your e-bike, post in the group, make friends, it's tons of fun. And lastly, download the app so you can track your rides, post photos of your rides, and make friends there as well. Also, track the leaderboard to see who's logging the most miles per week. So thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey or experience. Enjoy the ride.